Okay, good morning, friend. Today we will go for the presentation of pH chart that should be drawn manually. Okay, so let us plot the vertical line that is for pressure and y-axis. This line is for enthalpy scale. So the lines which are horizontal, these are the constant pressure lines, whereas the vertical lines, these represent a constant enthalpy lines. After that, we should draw the saturated liquid curve as well as saturated vapor curve, where these two curves intersect at a common point that is known as a critical point. Okay, so we should represent the critical point also while we are drawing this pH chart manually. So also represent the temperature scale on saturated liquid line. The same scale is there, the same temperature scale that should be on the saturated vapor line. So once we draw the dome of this particular refrigerant, then it will divide it into three parts. That is extreme left side, that is for subcooled liquid region. Okay, it will be represented as HL, or we can say it as a HF. The right side, it is for superheat region or superheated vapor region. So it will be represented by HV, or it will be sometime represented as HG. V stand for vapor, G stand for gas. Likewise here HL, L stand for liquid, F stand for fluid. It may be in liquid form or it may be in pure fluid form. And the region in between these two, superheat and subcooled region, that is known as the latent heat region. So it will there inside a domain. Okay, so liquid heat region, it will be represented by HLB, or it may be represented as a HFG, because it has having multi-phase, that is fluid plus gas. Okay, so identifying the constant temperature lines. So these red lines represent a constant temperature lines. So how it goes? So let us take a look of this 0 degree temperature line, that is a constant temperature line. So it comes from the subcooled region. Okay, it will interact to the saturated liquid curve at 0 degree, then it becomes so horizontal, that it becomes exactly horizontal, and then it interact to the saturated vapor line exactly at 0 degree centigrade, and then get inclined. So if you observe minus 20 degree line, minus 40 degree line, minus 60 degree line, so whatever the scale of that temperature on saturated liquid line, the same temperature scale is there on saturated vapor line also. Okay, likewise 20 degree line also, 40 degree line also, 60 degree line also. Also one more understanding for this is that the temperature is rising from downward to upper side. So it's minus 60 at the bottom, and it goes on increasing in upper direction. So this should be noted. Okay, so these are represented, that constant temperature lines are represented by red color. Now let us move for the second lines, that is the constant entropy lines. Constant entropy lines. So these are represented with the help of blue color. So constant entropy means the entropy remains constant. So we can say for isentropic process, isentropic compression process. So these are necessary. Okay, so these blue lines are the constant entropy lines. Apart from that, we have specific volume lines. These are represented by green colors. So these lines, it is for the specific volume line. It will be represented by Vs also. That is the specific volume lines. And we have yellow lines also. So these yellow lines which are represented inside the domain. Okay, that is, these yellow lines are located in between saturated liquid curve and saturated vapor curve. So this yellow line represent a dryness fraction for that particular location. So dryness fraction is represented by letter X. Okay, so this dryness fraction for liquid refrigerant is always equals to 0, whereas the dryness fraction for vapor refrigerant is always 1. Means it is very clear that the dryness fraction lies between 0 to 1. So we have here 10 lines, that is 10 dryness fraction line. So x equals to 0 means that particular phase of that refrigerant is in pure liquid form. So it rises from left to right. So 0, 0.1, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9 and 1. 1 on saturated vapor line. Because the dryness fraction is 1 means what? It is having a phase of vapor refrigerant. So that's why the dryness fraction is 1. So all is regarding to the pH representation of this pH diagram, or we can say pH chart on a plain paper. We should draw it manually also. Okay. Now let us understand why this pH chart is required. So by using a pH charts, one should know the phase of that refrigerant, either it is in liquid form or either it is in vapor form or either it is in latent heat region. So one should know the phase for that particular location, as well as we should also know the various properties of that refrigerant for the particular process. Properties is concerned to the, one should know the pressure, one should know the enthalpy, one should know the entropy, the specific volume, its dryness fraction as well as its temperature. So all these properties are extracted with the help of this pH diagram. So it is important to draw the pH diagram as well as the process. Okay, so let us take a look of this second figure. Okay, so what it represents, the same thing, but I am taking here one process, simple process as a 1 to 2. Okay, let us say this is the evaporation process. Okay, 1 to 2. Again, when I observe this process, it is a constant pressure process. Why? Because it is a horizontal line. So that's why we have a pressure. When I extend this process 1 to 2 process toward the pressure reading, then what I observed, that P1, whatever the pressure at point 1, that is equals to the pressure at point 2. So if the pressure is equal, means that 1 to 2 process is the constant pressure process. So now let us extract the properties at point 1. Let us say 1 is the initial stage of that process and 2 is the final stage of that process. So the process starts from 1 and ends up to 2. So observe point number 1. Point number 1, it is on saturated liquid line. Saturated liquid lines means obviously for that saturated liquid curve, the dryness fraction is 0. So at point 1, the dryness fraction is 0. So we are going to extract this property. So first property, dryness fraction is 0. Now measure the temperature at point 1. So find out the appropriate curve for the temperature. So let us say it is at 20 degrees centigrade. Means we are able to find out the temperature at point number 1 also. Now project point number 1 in a vertical direction toward the enthalpy scale, so that I am able to find out the enthalpy at point number 1. Also we have isentropic curves are there, that is the constant entropy curves. So the curve which passes through the point number 1, from that I identify the entropy also, that is a constant entropy at point number 1. Okay, likewise we have we are able to find out the specific volume at point number 1 also. Okay, Now let us go for the final path of this process, that is point number 2. For point number 2 also we are able to measure the pressure as well as the temperature. Now please note that the temperature curve is curved in a subcooled region, then it becomes so exactly horizontal in a latent heat region, and then it is curved in a superheat region. As 1 to 2 process is a constant pressure process, hence the temperature at the start of this process at point number 1 and at the final stage at point number 2, okay, the temperature remains same. As pressure is constant, the temperature is also constant. With the simple gas law as PV is equals to mRT, pressure constant, then temperature also constant. At point 2 now, one should able to know about the enthalpy also. Project point number 2 vertically toward the enthalpy scale. So point number we are able to find out the enthalpy. Now regarding to the point number 2. Now observe this point number 2 is on a saturated vapor curve. Saturated vapor curve. And we know that on for the saturated vapor curve the dryness fraction is always 1. Okay, dryness fraction is always 1, whereas point number 1 is on saturated liquid curve, so that's why dryness fraction is 0. And for point number 2 it is on saturated vapor curve, so dryness fraction is 1. Also measure the specific volume at for the point number 2, because that specific volume scale is given on that psychometric chart, which is explained in a previous lecture. Okay, also measure the entropy scale or entropy curve which passes through point number 2. From that we are able to find out the entropy at point number 2. Thus we know that for any process which is drawn over this pH chart, so for that particular process one should know all the properties at various location within that process or during that process. So that's it. Thank you all of you.